Welcome back everyone to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time we left off, we did the second of 3 Alliance raids, and now we're going to be doing a bit of story in between, before we can head to our final Alliance raid for this expansion, Heaven's Ward. We'll finally be heading on to Stormblood after that. That was some excitement, wasn't it, Narn? Probably a little too much for Vredia, but we gave her a bed to sleep off the worst of our ordeal. She'll be back to her usual cheerful self in no time. Quite a successful jaunt, all told. You and me would make a pretty good partnership. I've got words for you, Furball. You said that relic would obliterate a void scent completely. Seems to me that foppish fiend just got scorched before he slipped away. Oh, that was scarcely a fraction of the nullstone's true power. Once I have learned how to unleash its full potential, such demons shall be consumed like knots caught in a bonfire. So you're telling me our secret weapon ain't ready for battle. You might as well be wielding a blunted sword. I remind you that this blunted sword stung our foes sufficiently to free the Lady Pilot. A result we could not have achieved with your blustering words alone. But I was already ready to flee without Radia if things took a turn for the worse. But you're right, you had the presence of mind to take advantage of my bluff, and it was your actions that saved her in the end. Might be waiting a while before Radia finally decides to wake up. But not so long that you've got time to throw it away on some other adventure. Come join me in my quarters. I can ask her a few questions as soon as she's ready to talk. Alright. Well, I guess we're finally going to be able to talk to her a little bit. Oh there, Narn. Might as well make yourself comfortable while we wait on Radia. Besides, after fighting through those ruins, our waitree could use a rest. Where's the rest of my crew? Sure, there was other survivors. Tell me, Radia, what drove you to risk exploring Old Mach? Compass sent you there, eh? But you were after the Void Ark. You know something, didn't you? I found a book. We were looting these strange ruins in the Sea of Clouds, and one of the lads dug up a tome. A passage to describe the Void Ark, and a powerful relic called the nullstone. A tome inscribed by a Maki sorcerer, perhaps. Captain, would you happen to know the author of this book? The words are muddled by obscuring magics and 1,500 years have faded its pages. There is much that remains illegible, but little my darling cutthroats and I could decipher. Suggests it was written by a mage of exceptional status. See for yourself. If what this book says is true, the Ark is a source of immeasurable power. That ship under my command, the mysteries of Mach in my possession, I thought myself to crown myself Queen of the Skies. Look how well that turned out. What matters Sky Pirate? What manner of queen can't even keep her own crew alive? Meridia, isn't it? Would I be correct in assuming that you seek revenge against the Voidsent who slaughtered your comrades? Of course I want revenge. That's hellspawn shit-gobbling crew killed my crew. If he were right now, I'd gouge his eyes out and choke him to death with my bare bloody hands. You're not alone in your desire to bring an end to these abominations. Captain, will you not join us in our endeavor to secure peace for the skies? Will you not join the Talon's strength to ours? What strength? The way things are right now, I doubt I can keep the peace in a monastery. This is not to do with personal grudges either. I just don't have the men. All my best fighters died in the ruins, and the dregs that are left are scarce enough to be called talons. Did you leave your spine back in the ruins, Rydia? You had your wings clipped, and no mistake that there's no reason to give up the life. Thought we'd rescued a sky pirate, not some cur that turns tail when her pack ain't there to bite for her. I know what you're trying to do, Red Bill. I've lost my taste for glory. You can have the curse book. Just be sure to make that bastard pay. Hey Furball, how quickly do you think you can decipher that radial tome? I need you to figure out exactly how your relic works. Aye, you sent that one fiend squealing in fear, but that ain't enough. From what you've told me, we'll need to aim for some sort of obliteration if we're going to take on the Shadow Queen. The rest of you, put everything you got into what you do best, be that research or blade work. Overdoing it is doing it just right, if you get my meaning. I'll decorate my walls with Voidsent's heads if I have to. The sky should belong to no one. No stone hath fallen into mortal hands. Thousand apologies, Lord Diablos. I shall personally wring each and every one of those scrawny necks. Time for skulking in shadows hath ended. I'd grown weary of these meddling vermin. Power of the Shadow Queen wax full. Soon mine ardent desires shall pass from dream into dark reality. Oh, we're back here. Okay. Narn! Sith just sent me out to find you. You've got a proper knack for showing up at just the right time, you know that? Anyway, Sith cracked open that tome we got from Redia and has been studying all the nullstone secrets. He thinks he may be onto something important, not just concerning Diablos and the Shadow Queen, but also the cat himself. Come back to the Parrock and we can hear all what he has to say together. Alright, let's see how this is going to go for us, because I'm pretty sure this is the quest that's going to send us on the final Alliance raid. Last one was actually pretty decently tough. I think that's the first time in quite some time, if ever, I've died like twice or 3 times during that. As suspected, this tome was penned by a Maki sorcerer of superior standing, as well as detailing the methods of which the full power of the nullstone may be unleashed. The pages also contain a number of revelations concerning my master High Void Mage Khazar. If these histories are to be trusted, then it seems that Khazar herself was responsible for summoning Diablos. I thought you said your master was opposed to supporting the war effort. Why did she be the one to call up that bat-winged monster? Khazar only agreed to the ritual as a means to bring the conflict to an early resolution. From what I can glean from these passages, Diablos was intended as a bluff, threat that was never to be exercised. But those arrogant imbeciles ignored my master's carefully laid restrictions and elected to unleash the fiend upon Amdapor. It was that Khazar moved to protest this act that she was branded a traitor and imprisoned. Once they had contained the opposition, the Void Mages studied all manner of otherworthy arts at the town feet of their new pet. The most dangerous of which was the rite for summoning Skarath, and the method for chaining her power. Yet even after all that he had perpetrated, these ambitious fools had the gall to come crawling to Khazar when the coming of the Great Floods was predicted. They begged her to take control of the Void Ark for the salvation of the Maki people. As you saw for yourself, however, the energies of the Shadow Queen broke loose and turned the vessel into a derelict nest of void scent. It seems obvious now that the arts taught by Diablos was deliberately flawed. The only saving grace in all this madness was that damnable fiend was sealed away by the White Mages of Amdapor. I shudder to think that would have happened had he been reunited with his queen. So now 1500 years later, Diablos is looking to finish what he started. Thought the bat-faced bastard was just some opportunistic underling, but it turns out he's the main villain behind this whole mess. Were Khazar alive today, she would accept responsibility for unleashing Diablos upon the world. As the High Void Mage's familiar, it is my duty to act in her stead. I've deciphered the secrets of the nullstone. With its undiluted power, shall erase Diablos from existence. Yeah, I like your spirit, Puss, but try not to rush in too quickly, eh? Getting yourself killed won't do us or your master any good. Wait, no. No one's rushing in anywhere just yet. Or have you forgotten that we're still in the middle of scouting out the fiend's lair? We got the compass to go by, eh? But who knows what kind of place it'll lead us to, or how many dangers will be lying in wait when we get there. We fly in with our eyes open or risk getting slaughtered like the Talons. Oh yeah, speaking of which, the tome made mention of a particular location for... Looks like they came to us instead. Leofard! Behind. He's behind you. Curse you, fiend. At last, at long last. This is far from over, demon. We will not allow an abomination like the Shadow Queen to rule this world. Do without notice, not of ruling. It might be which decide dominion. Believe what thou mayest, frail creature. You are playthings. Your screams of denial shall amuse me as I send this rock and all upon it to shower upon the ground below. Gods, is that Redelia? What's she behind that ship? When I tie my arm with the swatting of so many flies, the nullstone is mine, and there is yet much to be done. Alright, that turned around quite quickly. We lost a nullstone, which was the most important thing. Whoa, ain't I lucky saw. 2 demons in one day. Found some new dogs to lick your boots, Redelia. Is there any way to welcome me back to life? You need allies in pursuing our reluctant fellows to join our common purpose is a feat only a woman of my charming beauty could accomplish. Besides, you'd look too injured to be of much use to anyone. You'd best take to your bed, old man. Let me and your champion there take care of the void scent. What? So you could tuck tail and run again at the first sign of trouble? You'd not be standing here if it weren't for me, and even with my arm busted up, I'm still twice the pirate you are. Nay, I think you should stay behind this time, Leofard. We must pursue Diablos without you. Time is of the essence, and we cannot afford to wait for you to heal. We must take advantage of Captain Borelli's reinforcements and proceed with all haste. Did the demon drop you on your head for a ball? Without me there to run things, you'd just be getting in Narn's way. No one's making haste anywhere until we know what we're flying into. Again, Captain Regalia may hold the answer to that dilemma. I suspect the island where she uncovered the Maki Tome is the very location where Diablos has chosen the lair. This floating marvel I speak of is not of a natural occurrence. It is constructed as a haven for refugees of the floods. The tome makes very clear reference to the island's purpose and describes in detail the void-sent sorcery employed in its creation. As the Void Ark never arrived at its destination, however, the island remained uninhabited. I imagine no more suitable hideaway for our scheming fiend. Even better, Diablos will not expect us to suddenly arrive on his secluded doorstep. A taloned fleet will carve a path through the lesser fiends, and we shall strike swiftly into the heart of confusion that seized the nullstone. Once the relic is secured, I will use its power to obliterate our devilish foe. As a sky pirate, sure you can understand how such an assault relies on speed and surprise. Cannot have a wounded companion slow us down and potentially doom the entire enterprise. So you think you're just in charge now, do you, puss? Poor broken Leofard is just some dead weight you need to cut away. You know what? I've had a belly full of your mewing in any case. Go on, fly off without me, and see how far you get without your thrice-damn enterprise. Captain Redalia, compare the direction indicated by the Etico compass of your navigational records, if you please. I think we'll find the coordinates inside of the island in question. Certainly, if we feel the board our flagship right when you set to depart. My darling is large enough to accommodate our adventure, and her fellows have room to spare. And we've made it. Can now access the final alliance raid of this expansion. So that will be the next thing we do here, so I'll see you then.